cockpit is ready, so we can start to glue the two parts of the fuselage together. The instruction says that the cockpit is going from downside, so it's always good to dry fit first and then apply the glue. So we'll just check if the cockpit is going inside well. Yes, it's sitting correctly. So for most of my jobs, my models, I use, like I say in the first part, I use Tamiya Extra Thin. It's very good glue and with good quality plastic. It's work very nice and smooth. So I'm holding the fuselage parts together, and I will start to apply the glue inside the fuselage. So the cockpit part will be glued inside of the fuselage. Doing it like that, you receive much more and stronger gluing line, and you can be sure that the part will not move inside. I think I can just, okay, so now it's okay, it fits perfectly. So I apply some glue. This is very, like the name say, it's very thin glue, so it's run on the joint lines, so it's very easy to use it. You can just tap it like that, and the capillary reaction will take the glue together with the glowing lines, or you can brush it like that. So now I can start to glue the fuselage. So I turn it, and I always start gluing from the top side, because the top side is most important. 90% of the viewers will be looking at this model just from the top. So this joining lines should be perfectly. If any mistake should happen, it's better to repair it here under the aeroplane, so you can hide it and you have more safety approach to the problem. So it's always better, I always start gluing from the top to make the joint lines perfect on the top. And I just dab it and hold it for a few seconds, just the glue can start run. And you can use some clamps. So the best one are this one that you can install, you can borrow from your wife or girl or mother. And for beginning I apply small amount of glue just to catch the parts together. When this first layer of glue will dry a bit, then I will come back with more glue to seal it strong and correct like it should be. On this kind of parts, like the vertical stabilizers, I always turn the part and just touch the part with the gluing brush, just like that, and the glue suck inside, so there is no risk that you will run the glue here and then you can touch it with your fingers and leave some nasty fingerprints. So just like that. The fuselage was drying for 10 minutes, so now I can apply second layer of glue, and I'm using a lot much more glue than in the first time. And good thing about this glue, the Tamiya one, or another manufacturer's thin glues, that they don't leave nasty gluing marks. And for the inside, I can stronger the connection between cockpit and the fuselage parts using Tamiya white cement. It's more resin based glue, so it provides very good grip and strong connection, and it's very good to such a jobs like that. So if you have place that gonna be close and you will not see it, you can apply a lot of this glue. Its drying time is much longer than Tamiya thin one, but when it's dry, it's very hard. So it's working as well as a way of make your model much stronger. Okay, so now I will leave it for about 24 hours to be sure that the glue is dry and the plastic is again rigid, because now it's quite soft. And then I can, after 24 hours, I think I will be able to sand the fuselage and check the seam lines, and maybe we'll need to use some filler, but some putty, but I think and I hope that it's gonna be okay. So now we can glue the wing parts together. So the instructions say that if we want to use the drop tank, the fuel drop tank, we should make a hole here. So I can take some small drill and just make the hole. Of course you can do it after building stage, but for now it's now it's much easier, and you have markings inside where you should make a hole, so it's easier to do now. We need to cut the second part of the top wing. I never cut very close to the part. I always leave some space here, just to be sure that I will not damage and deform the plastic here in this place. So now I can gently remove all, and here as well, and sand it with the sanding stick. So I have to do it here because from this side, because this side of the top wing will be touching the fuselage, so this area here must be perfect. But for here, for this one, I will not sand it here. I will do it after. Like with this fuselage, I will sand it when the wing will be glued together, but just to be sure that the surface here is smooth, I will sand it only inside. So now we can dry fit it. Okay, so it's, and I'm again using the Tamiya extra thin glue, and I'm just brush it like that. Doing this way, like I said before, it's much safer. If the glue will run, it's gonna run down the wing, not to my fingers. So I think it's a good tip to make your gluing lines as clean as possible. Okay, and the same on the tip of the wings. I can use some clamp to hold it just for a few minutes, and like before, I will leave it for a few minutes, 10 maybe 15 minutes, and then I will come back with the Tamiya glue again and apply more glue to make the connections strong. We are waiting for the plastic parts to dry it, so we have time to do something else, some small jobs like landing gear and the wheels. I want to show you the very easy way of painting wheels, because always it's difficult to, because the tire will be tire black color and the hub inside will be aluminum color, so it could be very difficult to mask the tire, or just hand paint the hubs inside. So there is some small trick that I want to show you, but first we need to apply some color. So I will try, this part will be tire black and the landing gear will be black, so I will start from tire black because it's a bit different color than flat black. So I always, in such a works, I always start from the a bit lighter paint. So I use a bit of thinner, not too much, because I want to have a good coverage of the paint. we don't need a lot of it, so I just put few drops inside. I mix the paint inside the color cap. Okay. We can start to paint it. I painted whole part. I don't care it's the hub or the tire, because we'll do it in fast, quick and easy way when the paint will dry. And like you can see, this color is off black. It's not black, it's more rubber. And I can apply second coat. Okay. So the wheels can dry now. I will throw the paint back to the jar. And now, without cleaning the airbrush, we can apply black color. So just a bit of thinner. Black paint. Okay. And the landing gear. Our wheels are painted in tire black color, so now we can apply the hub color. It's gonna be flat aluminum like the manuals say. So to do it in quick, easy way, I'm using some template. You can buy it in I think most of the hobby shop or in some kind of artistic shop, the shop for people interested in art. So, or you can just find it in internet. It's very cheap and make your work much easier. Now you have to check the size of the hole that you need. So simply doing like that, you checking the size. This one is too big, so I think 6 will be just fine. Yeah, 6 will be fine. Okay, so number 6 is our number of choice. I always mask this tool just to keep it clean and ready for the next use. So just using some masking tape, I cut the hole using the sharp knife. So that's okay. Checking the part again. Okay. So then you just hold it with one hand, checking the hub is in correct place, so center in the hole. Taking your airbrush and just spray it in the color that you need. move it, and the job is done. Easy, quick. Then we gonna put some wash on it, so even if the paint is a bit off the center of the hub, it's not problem at all, because the wash will cover it and hide it, the small mistakes that you can do. And like you can see, our wheels are done, and it took me no more than 2 minutes. So it's really, I think, good tip and nice and quick way to make your wheels. Our zero looking quite good, so I think it's will be a quick and easy sanding job. For this task I use few different gradient of the sanding stick. The medium one grip, the fine one, and the spongy one, to protect to make the surface round like a fuselage here. So I'm starting with the medium one, and I'm just starting to sand the joining line. I'm using sanding sticks from Flory models, and I don't apply any power to sanding. I just put the sander on the model, and I am just moving the sander. And like you can see here, you can see some small step. This side is a bit higher than the other one. So I'm just doing the sanding without any pressure until these two surface will be level. I use 45-degree angle to sand to make the joining lines better. Then I can turn the model and do it in opposite way. And I like to check during the sanding. I think here is enough. This side needs a bit more. So during this you need to check it, control what's happened with the joining line, and when it starts to disappear, it's time to change the sanding stick, the sander, to fine grip. So it's almost gone. So now I'm cleaning the sander using my trousers, and I change it for the medium, for the fine sander, to take care about this scratches from the medium sander. And as before, I don't apply any pressure. I just put the sander on the model, and that's it. So I don't feel any joint here, and we can finish our job using the sponging one to make the surface round and to polish it even more. So you can see some line here, but this is the the paint which we painted inside of the fuselage, so it's stick to the glue, so you can see it in the joining line, but it's smooth. I don't feel any gap. I think we will have some small here, so I try to make it again. Come back to the medium sanding stick. Okay, I think it's gone. Then I use the fine one to polish the place, and now we can finish with the spongy one. And the hole disappeared. I will show you in a few minutes the simple way to check your joining lines if they are really okay, because you can feel like it's perfect, but it can have some very small gap, but I will show you how to check it to be sure before applying the base coat. All the sanding is done, so what we can do to check the looking of the joining lines. The easiest way, and I think the fastest, is just to spray a bit of paint on the joining line. So I have some black Tamiya black here, but you can use each color. If you paint some parts and some paint left in your airbrush, you can use it to check if the seam lines, but I like to use black. So I'm applying a paint on the joining line. I'm checking on the joints. And if something is wrong now, so for example there will be some gap or something like that, some place to correct and repair, you will see it now, not when you put your base coat of the paint. So it's very quick job, and I think it's good way to check all the joints before you start painting the model for for base coat. Okay, so paint is dry now, and you can check the looks of your model. So for example, the top side on the zero is fine. It's nothing left here, so it's good to leave it like that. On the underside, you can check it. We have some small problem here where the molding injections were. So now we can come back to the centers. I take the mid one and I will send it a bit more. You see the paint left in the small gaps here. If you don't use the paint to check it, the joining lines, you will never see it. But now it's easy to repair, it's easy to fix, and make it looking very, very nice and smooth. Okay, so just a bit more. Okay, and for the final sanding, I'm using sponging one. And now I know that the joint is perfect. So I think next stage we're gonna glue the wings and fuselage together, and the zero will start to look like a real plane.